Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, shall we? Continuing our complete beginner's guide with this ranged character, and we're going to be exploring Dungeon 14. I'd like to just get down to Dungeon 15, or at least see it, maybe see the depths, and then we'll go back into the sub-branch realm. Now you'll notice that we did see, indeed, something that's invisible, I believe, over here. Let me see if it's still there. I thought I saw another unseen horror. That is one thing that I can't yet do with this character, which is see invisible. And it's okay. Let's see if that is in fact the case. Well, that doesn't seem to be anymore. Maybe I think if I look in the log, it's very possible that I actually killed the unseen horror with a missed shot there. Oh, no, you know what it is? Never mind. Walk back everything. I saw the silhouette and just assumed it was an unseen horror because I can't see invisible, as you can see with this character. But no, that's right. Because of my Hood of the Assassin, I'm just detecting enemies. So this is a kind of a cool ability. I don't really get this very often, and it's a more it's a newer ability. We're going to go ahead and do heroism here because this is kind of a scary situation. There's a guardian serpent. I don't know what he's doing here, but we're not happy to see it. Ooh, Centaur Warrior is actually a big boy that is terrifying if you aren't strong enough as a ranged character, as any character really. They're so dangerous. They do so much damage, but you can see right there, it didn't really do that much damage to us, and we annihilated it, and we got level 16, and we got a strength. That is beautiful. So we got a strength point. You can see immediately our armor class went up 1 with our strength. And I bet if I were to look at my weapon, yep, our delay is down to 0.5 with the scales. So our current attack delay is 1.5 total with a weapon that started at 1.9. So we're really, really making good progress on helping out with the delay on this weapon. That strength point was really, really cool. Now we have 4 scrolls of teleportation and 3 blink, so I'm beginning to feel more comfortable with our escape. I mean, we were at one point down to like very, very few options to escape with. I'm going to go ahead and use heroism right here. Ugly things, just never sleep on them. They hit hard. They have different effects depending on what color they are. So I would just make sure that you... Oh. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to pick this up. So I was going to... Let me finish my first thought about ugly things. You know, just be careful of them. Just be mindful of them. Even if they go down to yellow, they just can hit hard, and I always want to fight them one at a time because they can snowball. Now, we just got... Grandpa Okuwaru went into the vaults there and came up with this artifact Herbalist for us. Now, this is really, really tempting. It's worse than our current Herbalist because it's +8 versus +9, obviously. It does not poison, it does not give resist poison, but we don't need that because of the gold dragon skills. It does not hurt our will, and it doesn't give us dex +3, but what it does do is gives penetration. And penetration, I'll show you this. Any ammunition fired by it passes through the target it hits, potentially hitting all targets in its path until it reaches a maximum range, okay? So, that is insane. It's such a good brand that I think it's actually going to... It might be worth it. It's definitely worth keeping around to swap to in a situation when I'm not doing like exclusively single target damage. I think I'll keep it for that. I'm going to show you right here. Like, resist cold, I'm already at 1 pip. Going up to 3 is great in certain situations. I don't know if it's rightly worth it. Now, the extra pip of will is definitely something to consider. But losing 3 dexterity will mean we lose damage and we lose evasion. So I can take a peek. Like, for example, right now, by the way, my delay already went to 0.4 because... Oh, no, because I'm using heroism is why. So let me actually wait for heroism to wear off. I'll just rest until it's gone so I can get a better grasp on my stats. So with this weapon, we're at 0.5 delay, and our damage rating is 46. Now, if I were to wield this weapon, okay, you'll see that actually our armor class and evasion stayed static. And if I go into my current weapon, you can see that the damage rating is only 43 versus 46. So is it worth losing 3 damage rating to get penetration? Let me show you this. An extra pip of will and some extra cold, but also not poison the enemy. Boy. It's really, really tough. It's really, really tough. I mean, if you're fighting a target that can't poison you, then it's pointless anyway. I'm going to go with it for now and just experiment. But, like, see, you see somebody like Snorg, okay? Let me show you Snorg. Snorg, is just a berserker, and she wants to come kill us. And she's single target, and we can poison her. So in this case, I actually am going to switch over to my other weapon. And I'm going to use heroism. And I'm going to also use finesse. Snorg can be dangerous. When Snorg goes berserk, you need to watch out. Look, Snorg is hitting us really hard. And is not dead. Like, Snorg gets a ton of hit points. Now, in this case, there's 3 undead targets lined up in a row. We're going to switch over to this weapon. Now, watch this. We're going to just be firing, and we'll fire at the back target to hit them all. In this case, this is when penetration becomes insane, because we can abuse the fact that there is a target blocking us from the Cyclops' rock and just hit them both. Right? So most of the time, penetration is going to be, you know, what we want, because it's so convenient for dealing with more than one target. But if you're in this situation, we're fighting the undead, a freezing wraith, none of this stuff can be poisoned anyway, so might as well, you know, fire this way. Now, these are, again, skeletal warriors can't hit hard. I'm going to go ahead and do heroism, and we're going to fire like that, I guess. Here we go. Man, I'm really not hitting that guy. I don't understand. I'm just missing? It does no damage. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's unreal. To be shooting at these guys with, you know, heroism intact and still doing no damage is upsetting. And that might be a case where you just want the higher attack value, even though... oh, there's a Death Knight. Okay. So, Death Knight, I don't think we fought any of these this playthrough. I'm just going to show you. We're going to wait, and we're going to blast him. Now, all you have to do is wait for the Death Knight to get that red arrow in the upper right of its portrait. You can see it says right there, the Death Knight offers itself to Yadremel and fills with unholy energy. So, if you actually go over it, by pushing X and then moving the cursor around, and just on the description, the quick description, it says, in parentheses, he's reflecting injuries. So, like, whenever Death Knights get that, you just don't attack them. You just move away. You're like, all right, well, fine. Reflect injuries. Do your thing. I'm going to go ahead and use heroism just to get ready. And, yeah, he's just being absolutely annoying. And now he can't reflect injuries anymore. Yeah, I don't know, you know, we should kill this guy. We did, but boy, that guy did so much more damage than you'd want to see. And I'm going to actually switch back to this. I don't know. I just feel like there's too much of a drop-off. It isn't... It's probably just in my head, but we're going to have to actually switch between these weapons based on circumstance. Okay? And so if you want to do that, something that's... First of all, our backpack is full, so we need to drop some stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and push D to bring up the drop screen. And we're going to drop things. We're going to drop a dagger of freezing. We're going to drop a longbow of flaming. We're going to go ahead and drop poison darts. We're going to drop a buckler, regular plate armor, regular cloak. You know, I'll keep the helmet. I'm going to drop the Wand of Charming, because Oka's not cool with it. We're going to drop the Potion of Flight. We don't need it. Okay. And then we're just going to push Enter to drop all that stuff. And I'll pick up the Wand of Ice Blast, which is great. Really want this. Now, I'm going to actually go into my items, and I'm going to go on to the Air Ballista of Sequestration. You'll see that both this weapon is P, this weapon is Z. I'm going to just go in here, and I'm going to push the equals key to adjust. And then we're going to push A to adjust it to the letter A. And then I'm going to push items again, and you'll see now there's an A next to this Air Ballista. I'm going to go into this weapon. I'm going to push equals to adjust and put it to B. And now when I go push I for inventory, you'll see that my two Air Ballists are A and B. And what this means is now you can use the apostrophe key to switch between your weapons without having to push W to wield and change it that way. It just saves you some time. Whenever I get two weapons that I actively want to be switching between quickly, that's just something I do to make it easier on myself. We definitely want to poison this Manticore, and it's single target, so we're going to keep with our main weapon. We got a Scroll of Fear, which is amazing. Here's a Tengu Conjurer, which we just annihilated. And what is this? It's a Deep Elf Archer. Okay, we got him. And he's dead. Or no, he's not dead. He's still down there, huh? You want to come out, buddy? He died from poison. Okay, great. And we're going to just search around. There is a Vault Guard. Yep. It has a great sword of electrocution, so you do have to be careful about that. It could hit you really hard. Here comes an Ogre Mage that we're just trying to actually hit, and we got it. Now let's look at our... we're training dodging. You'll see our evasion has gone up to 15. We want to pay attention to when this tapers off and becomes useless. We're going to stop training dodging either when that happens or when the manual wears out. Right now, the manual is still in effect. But dodging is kind of getting expensive to raise, even with the manual at this point. We might want to just go back to fighting or armor or even ranged combat. All right. We know there are some enemies in here, and it's the vault. Okay, so I'm going to go to heroism. I'm just going to pay attention. In fact, yeah, raising my dodging by 5 does increase our evasion by 4, so it's still very, very worth it to be raising our dodging. So I'm just going to blow these guys away, and they're dead. Oh, there was another guy in there. Interesting. There was way more guys in there. I don't know what happened, but like my detect enemy didn't seem to be functioning there, but we got it. And our evasion is up to 16 because we raised our dodging again. A Ring of Intelligence. Okay, we're going to drop that. I have 46 of 52 slots filled, so we're okay, but I like to keep my inventory more streamlined at this point. The Boulder Beetle is not dead. Now it is. It didn't die immediately, but it got poisoned, and now it's dead. Okay, so this is a spot where I'm actually going to move up here, and I'm going to push apostrophe to switch because these are undead. I'm going to use heroism, and we're just going to go ahead and fire all the way through. Now, cleverly, the guy with the reach weapon is, you know, in a good position to use that, but we can fire here and hit him, and now he's dead. All right. And we'll switch back. Oops. And this extra dexterity does give us another point of evasion now. So that's something to think about. I'm going to walk all these guys back to the choke point. And they're undead, so we will just go ahead and, you know, fire this to penetrate through. And I'll switch back, and we should be fine to kill them. Man. Must be, no, it's just an altar to Yared, which is why there's so many zombies and the like over there. No problem, though. Just basically free experience for us. Just all of these zombified undead things. And Okuwaru gave us armor. And he gave us like a +2 buckler of reflection, which is, you know, fantastic. I wish I could use a buckler with this, but you can't. And it's, at this point, not worth me sacrificing defense. But that's cool. That's a cool gift. Alright, now we're ready for Dungeon 15. Let's go down. See if we can get this done. Couple of enemies here. Alright, and here is an Ifrit and a Centaur Warrior. I'm going to go ahead and do Heroism right away. This is one where it can be dicey. Luckily for us, the Ifrit isn't that big of a deal. I'm still poisoning this guy. Oh, this guy's trying to get saucy and come around to flank us. And there's a good bit of enemies here, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take some hits doing this, but I'm going to move around this corner so that I can fight them one at a time. Now, if he's going to stay there, that's fine. Alright, we're good. We're good. They're not coming. There they go. Good. Oh, my manual of dodging is worn off, so time to turn that off immediately. And let's think about this. I think fighting makes the most sense for now. Let's just get some extra health. I'm not going to be sad with some pips of hit points. Alright. So we're at 99 hit points, 23 magic. After doing all that dodging training, we end at a 16 evasion, which is really, really good considering we're wearing, you know, gold dragon scales. Alright, Catoblepus out of here. Yep. They're really bringing out all the stops. There's an enchant armor, so that's fantastic to see. We'll go ahead and enchant. I'm going to keep going on... No, I'll actually enchant my cloak just in case. It would be hilarious if I found some better armor, but it is possible. 42 armor class. There's an antique weapon boutique. Interesting. Ooh, an unidentified scroll, huh? Let's go ahead and identify it. It's poison. Alright, well that's actually can be very useful for us. We can't get poisoned, so nothing good for us in there. No reason to bother. It would be unlikely considering the 2 weapons that we already have, but you never know. Sometimes it just rains good stuff for you. How many heads did that guy have? He was 7 and he's as sick as possible. There he is. Dead. Already up to 100 hit points. You love to see it. Alright, Malize. Malize, yeah. Alright, these guys are really annoying. So I'm going to go Heroism, and I'm going to go Finesse. I'm going to step back and try not to get killed right here. I'm going to actually switch weapons and then fire all the way through. They don't... Jeez. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is... So, Malize... They're some of the stupidest enemies in the game. Like, you'll see how they're graded as white, and yet they can smite you, which goes through your armor. So for a character like this that relies on mitigation, you know, I have an 18 evasion and a 45 armor class, and none of those are relevant. So we have to go ahead and quaff a heal wounds potion and just try to hit these things before they can smite us again. And we did, but having to use a consumable against an enemy that's, you know, graded that low is a shame, but they're kind of just like a hard counter for what we're doing, and the game has a lot of that. This is kind of scary. So I'll fire in like this, and then I'm going to go around the corner and even go further up. So I can use heroism, and then I'm going to switch to my penetrating, and we're just going to fire through, and we're going to show off what happens when you have penetration as a brand. We're just going to be hitting all of this stuff. And then now it's just down to the last one. And we'll switch back and be happy. It's still worth it most of the time if we can poison the target to be on Venom. Fire Dragon, alright. Like I said, poison the target. Bam, got it. 101 hit points. Alright. Dead. But this is Dungeon 15. I mean, it's getting hard. It's getting really, really saucy. Okay. This is 100% a runaway situation. There's a great orb of eyes, which let me show you this guy. So he can mind burst, confuse, paralyze, any of that with the slime there is so scary that we have absolutely no choice but to run. Now, I am going to use heroism right here and just wait and see if they're coming. Are they not coming? Here we go. Whatever will come around the corner, I'll fight you. Ooh. I mean, well, I think I spoke too soon on that one. All right, I'm going to use finesse, and I'm going to use my File of Floods back up here. No, I can't do it in a cool way. Then fine, do it like that. All right, I need to kill the Orb of Eyes immediately. It has split. Got the Orb of Eyes. It's a shapeshifter, so it wasn't even an Orb of Eyes. Or was it? One of them was, one of them wasn't. And you see how this very ugly thing is just raining on us? Like, we're corroded a bit here. Okay, we got it. But yeah, if ugly things are hard, very ugly things are even worse. All right, so we did win that, but I mean, that's just a demonstration of how awful that is. We want no more than just one slime creature at a time, thank you. All right, got it. But this was like a really, really difficult area. Oh, God. Okay. We can fight. We just can't let that slime get any bigger because we die. And there's the depths. So, yep, in general, guarding the door to the depths will be stuff like that. Just a whole host of very, very difficult guys. But we made it. Our fighting is up to 12. And at some point, we're going to think about pivoting over to armor and ranged weapons again. But I'm at 103 hit points as virtue of training fighting, so I think that's actually pretty much worth it. Let me make sure that there's not really an enemy over here anymore. Okay, there's not. Now we need to go to this screen and see where do we want to go. It's time for a branch. I'm not going to go to the depths yet. I'd like to clear the swamp and the snake pit first, so let's go to the snake. Let's go fight some snakes. Snakes are rough, but our character should be reasonable in here. You just have to kind of be careful with the layout sometimes. You don't want to get yourself into a spot where you are overwhelmed, because it can be a little bit open. I'm just killing these guys off. Yeah, and so this guy's going to stand at range, and I am going to stare dance the other guy if he comes over. He did. Now, so you have to be careful trying to stare dance in the snake pit, because a lot of these Naga dudes can constrict you, which will prevent you from going up the stairs when you're trying to stair dance. Like, they basically wrap their tail around you. And so you have to watch out for that because it can kill you if you're not ready. I'm going to go ahead and drop this ring of dexterity, and I'm also going to go here, and I'm going to prevent myself from picking up rings of intelligence. I pushed D / to do this, by the way. And just anything with a plus sign, you'll automatically pick it up with auto pickup. I'm turning all of these off. I don't need any of these anymore. You know, I don't need a lot of this stuff. So I'm just going to turn off anything that I don't feel is necessary. I don't need a file of floods. Okay, good. That is off. And everything else, like, I'm mostly okay with. So that's fine. But just these, like, generic rings. All right, this is Azul. So I'm going to go heroic. And, you know, this could be a very tough enemy. A lot of poison from this one. But what's cool is we just can't get poisoned. So, no job prospects. Who wants Sleepy Azul to guard their treasure? No? There we go. All right, 104 hit points. That was one of those elites where it's like, we're the hard counter for it because we just can't be poisoned. So much of their kit is taken offline right there. There's a pair of gloves. We still need boots. We haven't seen a pair of boots in the game. Okay, Guardian Serpent. Remember, Guardian Serpent is what you want to take out immediately because of its ability, and we killed it before it got to do anything. I am going to go here. I need to get to a choke point immediately. I'm going to go heroic and then just make this a little bit easier on myself. Start blasting these guys. We got level 17, which means a big boost of hit points, which is fantastic. Not really a big boost, just like 5 or 6, but still. And when you see the enemies with the tower shield, we need to look out for those and the ones that buff as well in terms of the Nagas. Cool. We got Tremor Stones. That's such a good evocable item for us. With our 43 armor class, we should be in a spot where we don't even take damage from the Tremor Stones, but anything weak would. Like those Malai that were dominating us, if I would have had Tremor Stones right there, we could have just owned them with that. I'm going to go ahead and go heroic on this group. Just make life easier for myself. I mean, our piety is incredibly high, so we're not really worried about it. And let's shoot. Got it. Okay, let's see. Bam, bam, bam. Dead. Shock Serpent. Not really. Not that shocking. All right, good. Let's do Snake 2. Ooh, we got a bunch of guys. Now, the sharpshooters are a problem. You definitely want to try and take them up the steps if possible. I'm going to immediately stair dance. Just one thing. And I don't think I'm going to actually go... Well, let's see if we can get... It's one of those things where it's like, maybe I don't stair dance here because there's 2 sharpshooters. But if I can kill one, yeah, we're good. Alright, so Oka gave us some throwing weapons. Thanks so much. And you can see we're up to 111 hit points. And fighting is getting to be 15. So I'm going to turn it off and go back to armor. Well, actually, give me 1 second. Before I commit too much to armor, I'm going to look at my weapon, and it's slowed by 0.5. If I use heroism and look at my armor, it goes down to 0.4 if I raise armor by 5. So it's very, very minimal how much we would get from armor at this point. But our armor class goes up to 46, and so by 5 levels of armor, we would get 0.10 speed and 3 armor class, which isn't bad, but isn't great. So I think I'm only going to raise armor a little bit and then go back to ranged weapons and just try to dump a bunch into that. Okay. Let's go ahead and heroic. It's fine to fight this many, but we can't be standing in the open trying to fight that many sharpshooters. It's just a losing proposition. But in this little choke point, okay, fine, we can do that. Oh, and there's Asterion. So Asterion is very tough, and you'll see, you know, he can do all kinds of McCleb-oriented powers. He can haste himself. He can blast us from afar. So we need to just be careful of that. We're going to use... now, he didn't see us. Let's see if he does eventually. Now he does. We're going to use Finesse, and we're going to just fire. And he can get poisoned, so that's helping us out a bunch. And we're going to just blast him, and he's dead. He's actually quite difficult, but we were just in a really good position, and we could poison him. So again, this is why we kept the other Airbalest. And we get a scroll. We can go ahead and read Identify on this, and it's fog. Wow, first time seeing fog. Fun. All right, we got some more Ice Blast, and we're just going to blast around here. Oh, it's Francis. Okay, so her heroism, finesse. Francis is, she is a Pandemonium Lord. Oh, no, she went to Pandemonium. And she's very, very dangerous. She's got Throw, Icicle, Iron Shot, and Haste. So we're going to go ahead and just blast her. Luckily, we can poison her. So she's summoning stuff, but she's going to be dead in about 2 seconds. There she goes. Again, we could poison her. Here's an Artifact Hand-X, which is funny. And we're just going to go ahead and blast this guy. And he's still got a nice big hit on us with that huge weapon. So it could still happen, you know. Like, a lot of the times we'll dodge, or our armor class will take care of it, but even still, we can get swatted for way more than we're looking for. What's this over here? It is just a Black Mamba. I'm going to go ahead and go heroic against these Naga that are coming in. And we got some armor from Okawaru, which, you know, back in... this is actually looking bad, so I'm going to go ahead and finesse. I need to kill the sharpshooter immediately. I need to kill this guy. This dude from behind, so I can escape if I need to. Here we go. All right, so that was just us kind of pulling out of a nosedive with... man, that salamander will not die. There we go. All right, good. Again, heroism finesse to save the day, which is why I waited forever to get Okawaru. So that chainmail is never going to be better than our Gold Dragon scales. It just won't. And, of course, there's Vashnia. All right, so Vashnia is one of the enemies that you don't want to see here. And I'm going to try to make a bid to get out of here. I don't know if I can. Luckily, these sharpshooters are pretty slow. I'm going to do heroic, and I'm going to do finesse, and we're going to fire. Vashnia by herself, like, I feel okay, but with all these other sharpshooters, it's just really scary. Armor goes up to 18. We're going to search around, try to find Vashnia in a more favorable spot. Okay, we found her. That's for sure. There she is. She's got a buddy. So we're going to put the poison on her. She can do, yeah, as you see, just a kind of ridiculous amount of damage. And she blinks away, which makes her even worse. We're just going to keep firing on her, though. We got her. Great. All right, let's get this other sharpshooter. And with finesse and heroism, it just all happens for us. No problem, but that's why we waited to take on the Snake Pit. We have a great weapon. Poison is so good in the Snake Pit, like you wouldn't think it would be because it's snakes, but it is the bane of the Snake Pit. If you do Venom magic, it just works so well. And we did it. We're done with Snake Pit 2, and we killed 3 elites, 3 named uniques on this floor, and we're cooking with gas. We are level 17, 44 armor class, 16 evade native, just rocking it. This is a good place to stop, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this useful. Take care.